Those are my words exactly. In the Morelos Mountains, campesinos are planting their fields, where the ghost of Zapata rides a horse that can still outrun the wheel. High in the sky above and clear outside, it's the free Mexican Air Force flying tonight. Well, there in Kentucky, a cowgirl is cooling her heels, remembering that God gave us herbs and the fruits of the field. But a criminal law that makes outlaws of those seeking light make the free Mexican Air Force Mescalito riding his white horse. The free Mexican Air Force is flying tonight, flying so high. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How strange an innocent herb causes money to burn. They'll jail you or kill you for making those rich fat cats squirm. But nothing can stop us, my vision is clearly in sight. And the free Mexican Air Force is flying tonight. While we smoking colitas, federales are loading their guns, blowing smoke from their six-shooters, spinning their barrels for fun. Contrabandistas, banditos of light, we're the free Mexican Air Force and we're flying tonight. And high in the hills we are harvesting sweet sensimilla. The law wants it all because they think the why we can free us. Freedom for us is a prison for the rulers of might. That's why the free Mexican Air Force, Mescalito riding his white horse. The free Mexican Air Force is flying tonight. Everybody flying so high. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Flying tonight.
Good evening to any and all that came out here this evening. Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. And I'm waiting on my man Bobby Quarry to come bop in the room, man. I talked to him a little while ago. We did a little test run, and he should be here, man. He should be here. He's looking good. He's looking large and in charge, and just kind of waiting for waiting for a few people to roll in here that are going to join us in the conversation. And it's still early, man. It's still early. Put some we find a little something a little bit more. Let's put the Bruce Gas tune on in here, man. The Toker 2 song.
Shout out Bruce Gas, aka Toker 2. You know I had to drop a track for my boy.
Where you at?
My boy, the Big Stepper, made this one for me, man.
I'm the hardest young nigga, I ain't signed to no label. Hey, Bruce Gas putting them fights on the table. Calling that box.
Just kind of waiting for
smoking so much gas, you would think that shit was fatal. I'm the people's champion like Muhammad Ali.
Live TV, live YouTube.
Yeah, we gonna blow it down.
You gotta love it, man. You know. We can throw some stuff on there that we won't get in trouble with before until the guest of honor comes in, man. But yeah, man, I hope he better not stand me up over here, man. I'm sure he's not going to tonight. Like I said, man, I just had him on here about 45 minutes ago. We did a little dry run here. The Big Stepper. Yeah. The Big Stepper. Always got good stuff on there, but this is a little too blasé. I gotta see what I can get away with over here on my free stuff that I can play. Here we go, man. We got some freaking. We can play some reggae, not get in trouble with it. Until the guest of honor comes. Maybe I'll give him a buzz and see what's up here, man. Just let him know. I sent him a text. So we'll wait, man. We'll kick back here a bit. Let a few more people roll into the house. Get ourselves in the right frame of mind here, man. Bruce Gas on the Toker 2. I'm hoping that my man Mr. Doc comes in, maybe Mad Chad, Trick Nolte. You know, kind of like the Tuesday night, but on a Thursday night. And how about that kind of Ben getting popped for fucking roids today? You know, a lot of people don't know what this clomidine, whatever the hell they're calling it now. But questions about chemically enhanced boxers, Bruce Gas is the place to come, man. Yo. Let me shout out who's in here, man, because that's really the most important thing, man. Having some of you cats coming in and listen to us, and you know, we're waiting on Bobby Quarry over here. Dude, he better not blow me off today, man. Will I be in the shit over here, man? My brother Oppion LD, the first one in the building, man. Salute to my man Oppion LD. Peace be with you, my brother. MGTV, man. Salute, bro. Salute. Mick Smith, bro. Thank you for coming by, my man. Johnny Blaze, I'm blazing over here, brother. BK, salute, my bro. Carlos Mendoza. The Barbarian, salute, bro. Carlos Don King, salute. Thank you for the extra view, my man. The Iceman. I haven't seen you around a lot. Maybe I haven't been around a lot either, man. I don't know, but shout out, man. Thanks for coming by. Mad Chad, you better be getting up here pretty soon, bro. My brother Brian Hawkins, salute, man, salute. He better come to. I better get to say hi to him. Mr. Dick Justice, man, salute. Mr. Doc. Mr. Pigeon, salute. True Matador. Salute, my brother. Let's see here. I'm trying to multitasking over here as I go. I think I'm going to give Bobby the buzz. Maybe he thought I said 2 hours. I don't know, man. But let's just make sure. Let's just make sure here, man. Bobby, I'm online, man. Can you come on? All right, brother. Thank you. Good thing I made that call, man. Good thing I made that call. Because we're going to be honored. We're going to be honored in a little bit, man. We're going to be honored with, this is royalty in boxing, bro. This is my era, about as big as it gets. This is Jerry Quarry and Mike Quarry back in the late 60s to early 70s. Whew. They were all over the place. I mean, I can't really explain that much about them, but this is the last of the Quarry brothers, the last of the fighting Quarry brothers, and it's gonna be a lot of fun to talk to this gentleman up here, man. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I just met this cat last week, and we didn't have him on Tuesday night. But if you know anything about boxing, in fact, we don't need any music in the background with this gentleman up here, man. This is Bobby Quarry, man. We call him Bob now. He's a little bit older, man, but he's from that famous family, the famous Quarry brothers. Bob, my brother, salute, man. Thank you for coming up here tonight.
Oh, anytime, and thank you for having me. Yes.
Oh, man.
I'm the last to be talked about. My brothers were the main ones, but that's cool.
Well, let's tell these people a little bit about who you are, and and how you're involved in boxing today, and I mean, let's let them know who you are, because I definitely want to talk about growing up as a Quarry, but you had two brothers in boxing. You were the third one. You were the younger brother, and anybody in here that doesn't know who you are, I don't think they belong in here, man. For one thing, man. But, we all love boxing, and tell us how did I know it was crazy in your house, and you were the younger brother, 20 years younger than Jerry, right?
17 and a half years younger than Jerry, and 12 younger than Mike. So I was in the house as a child with Mike, but I don't remember Jerry in the house as a kid, myself being a kid. Right.
So you have any interesting? Oh no, go ahead.
By the time I became able to comprehend what was going on in life, I remember my whole family and all my sisters and brothers, and everybody from that point. Yeah, but just not younger.
Now, did your family encourage you to get into boxing, or was that just in your blood?
I think it was destined. Michael helped me out. Mike was closer to my age, and we were closer, and he helped me get into it. Later on, I didn't start. Well, I did a little bit young, 4 or 5 years old, but didn't get back into it till about 17.
Hey, we got Anthony's up here. Trick Nolte stopped in, man. That's the man who introduced me to you. So shout out to
How you
Anthony.
doing?
And Mad Chad's up here too. Mad Chad's from Maine, from my neck of the woods. He's a big fan of the Quarries, and he wants to say hi, maybe ask you a few questions. So, Mad Chad, Bob Quarry.
Certainly. Where are you here?
Mr. Quarry. Mr.
How are
Quarry, it's a
you?
pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure is
God
mine.
bless. How are you? The
I'm
Fighting
good.
Quarry brothers, honestly. My old man loved you guys. I mean, your older brothers there, man. Complete warriors, you know, to say go out on your shield. You know, Deontay Wilder, a great fighter today, you know, talking about going out on your shield. And many fighters today, they don't have that. And all the Quarries had that. There was no quit in a Quarry. And it's just an honor right now, Bobby, for you to be by right now. Thank you for swinging by. I hope all is well with you, and God bless, Bobby. Thank you.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you guys for having me. Being the last and the least, you know. We lose our.
No, we're good. We're good. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just I never was or will profess to be what my brothers were, and I'm not upset with that. It's hard to keep one to make it there, let alone two, let alone three. They took the odds away from me.
Mm.
You know.
Now, I know. I know the fight that was probably definitely a bad experience, that Tommy Morrison fight. Were you prepared for that fight, or was that like a? I mean, I know a lot of your fights are on real quick notice, no training camp.
Right. They came to me in 13 days' notice. I guess he was supposed to fight somebody else. So it's hard to turn down that much money when they offer it to you. You know, when it's a needy factor. So I went in and took it and gave the best I could for what I had at that time. You know, he was tough. He was tough, better boxer, and kind of better fluidly than I thought he would be. Because you know, the rough and tumble come at you. But he was a better boxer and quicker handed than I thought. Which, you know, good for him. I have nothing ever to say against that guy. He's a good man. He gave it his best. Or any fighter, per se.
Trick Nolte, how you doing this evening? Oh, you're on mute.
To me?
No, Trick,
Yeah.
Trick is muted.
Yeah, I was
There
on
we
this,
go.
man. How everybody doing? Mad Chad, Bruce Gas, Bob Quarry. It's an honor and a pleasure to be talking with you. We spoke on the phone, I guess maybe about a little bit over a week ago, and we chatted on Facebook a while back. And my thing is, you know, you come from a great boxing family, boxing royalty, man, and it's just great to have you on here, man. And I felt that like what I've been doing for the past 2 or 3 years is reaching out to the old school fighters like yourself to let you guys know that we don't forget about you guys. And I saw you on Facebook, and I said, let me reach out to Bob Quarry and get him on the show, one of these platforms, man. So you know, we can talk with you. And it's great to have you on. You're from a great boxing family. And I called mostly, you know, a little bit of Jerry, a little bit. You know, I'm 48, but you know, I still call a little bit. But man, y'all were some great fighters. You know, just a great boxing family, man. And it's just great to be talking.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, it was just meant for me, I guess, and I didn't take advantage of it myself like I should have. But I didn't have my brothers had my dad right there, right behind him in there, and he lived with them. See, that was two different generations. My dad was already gone by the time, so I got Michael to help me, and Mike worked with me and stuff like that. But it was more a competitive thing with me and him, rather than a trainer training a fighter. You know, I have no complaints about any point in my career. I wish I could add things a little better and sized up for me, but no, my brain's all right. I'm going to live a long time and get to see my kids raised. So I'm
Absolutely.
happy.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now,
Yeah.
you learned boxing from your brother Michael. Now, were you old enough to remember Mike's fight when he fought Bob Foster? Oh my God!
Yeah, I was like 11 years old. I remember it. I remember crying when it happened. I was up. Mike was like my idol. So when I watched the fight and that happened, I remember going into immediate hysteria. That was my big brother Mike. You know, I knew Mike better than Jerry because he was around. He was younger. So. Um, Yeah, that really hurt and I was old enough and do remember that. Yeah,
Now, did any of your family try to talk you out of becoming a boxer?
no, not that anybody pushed me into it either, but nobody asked me or forced me to do anything like that. No, it was of my own choice. I have a son here, 21 years old, 6'4", 190 pounds. We're gonna start
Wow.
seeing what he can do.
Mm.
So
That's a
hopefully,
big boy.
Freddie Roach, isn't that right?
yeah. Yeah, he went down. He's going to be working with Freddie. Yes, sir.
Man,
Um, he's green, but he will give it his best. He's got that
That's
no
a
quit.
fact. He
it's
is
Yeah,
Quarry.
in the blood. It's in
yeah,
the blood,
Yeah.
yeah.
man.
So you guys both previously boxed in your younger years?
Not I, sir. No, very. Never with any aggression. Just train. I trained with boxers. I've been watching boxing since the late '60s. But no, I've never gotten in the ring. I don't have that in me.
At the boys club back in the day, like 1977, I was 7 years old. I just got to the Portland Boys Club. We were swimming naked back then. Let's remember, this wasn't the Boys and Girls Club. This was just a club full of boys from 7 years old to 18. I remember swimming naked with everybody, but they had the boxing gloves right there. I remember getting there, and they go, "We got a boxing tournament, and if you win, you got pizzas, a grilled cheese." I'm like, I
Oh
was
yeah.
hungry. I put the fucking gloves on. I was 7 years old, and just the headgear, and it was fun. It was fun, and getting
Yeah.
hit,
Oh
it was
yeah.
like
Yeah.
fun. But
It's
and
always
then I
fun.
did a lot of
I
sparring,
love boxing.
but I've never gotten to a fight like you, Bobby, or a pro level, or even an amateur fight. I've got just
Um,
at the boys club sparring and.
Oh man, I grew up with four brothers. The gloves were everybody. We had
yeah.
boxing.
Yeah.
Since we were
Exactly.
little.
That's the same thing. So you have boxed.
Absolutely. I mean, I've had my
Yeah.
head. And let's face it, we're all pretty good when it comes to just fucking around with guys in the neighborhood. But you were on an elite level.
Oh yeah.
I mean that just your name alone. Your name alone was drawing fans, was making money.
Yeah, but the age difference between us and them kept me like Michael had more trouble with it because he didn't get his own identity. He had reached as high a point as Jerry did, number one in the world, but he didn't get the recognition because Jerry was the heavyweight, Mike was the light heavyweight. So that bothered Michael a little bit, but never bothered me whatsoever. I was proud to be their younger brother, to any extent.
Yeah. Oh, Jerry was a rock star in the early '70s. He was on I Dream Genie. He was on the Match Game. He was all over the place. He was like I said, he was a rock star. Jerry was
Yeah,
he was Hollywood. He was
he
royal.
did do pretty good. He did do pretty good. The ladies, we all took after him as far as getting the ladies. No.
I love Jerry, but when Jerry fought Ali, man, I was with Ali. I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't
well,
want to get that. I love Muhammad Ali.
yeah, we all have our favorites, and they all deserve respect. So there's not one that deserves any less than the other.
None of them. You're right. You're so
You
right.
know,
So right, man.
they all give out there and give it the best they can, and they do. You know, if a man gives it the best he can, there's nothing against him for that. You
Now,
know, how do you, even if he gets knocked out early, it ain't his fault. He gave it his best. You know,
I don't know if you're
how I
following
look at it.
today, man. I don't know if you're following what's going on today, but right now they just canceled a fight in England. Conor Ben and Chris Eubank we're going to fight, but
Right,
because of steroids and drugs, they found Ben positive for something that's used to cover up steroids to take after a cycle. In your career, I mean, in your brother's career, did you see any drug cheats in boxing?
no, I never saw anything like that. That we were old school. We didn't do the steroids or anything like that. You ate a steak 5 hours before the fight. Now you're eating carbohydrates, which is smarter, and they have uh, gone up better, you know, in nutrition and stuff. But I like the old time where you got out and gave it all your best, and that was from your heart. And you ate steak and lobster, I mean, steak and potatoes, you know.
If you ever come to
All
New
this
England,
stuff.
you'll eat lobster, bro. We got lobsters
Oh,
up
I
here.
love lobster. Yeah, I love it.
Oh,
When
yeah,
I
we got
first turned
lobster.
pro, I moved back to Vineland, right outside of Atlantic City, and fought 7 fights at the Tropicana. So I've been back there early in my career. I had a good time. Got to do a lot of travel. You know, didn't make big money, but I fought in Japan twice, fought in Australia my senior year in high school, fought in Alaska, Atlantic City 7 times in New York. So yeah, all over Southern California. Yeah, I never had no complaints about my career. You know, I wish I could have had a little bit more integrity in my being to give it a better shot than I did, but live and learn. You know, I
One of my
wish.
brothers out there asked me if you have any memories of Levi Billups, the late Levi Billups.
I'm just reading that. No, I didn't know he passed away. Yeah, big. I wait. It was my fight over in Japan, and they were telling me nobody was wanting to fight this guy, and he was weighing 235, and I weighed 207, I think. For it was my first fight back after a 3.5 year layoff, and he was tough. You know, yeah. We went toe to toe and got a good ovation at the end, and he won a decision. Yeah, I do remember him, and he was a good, strong, good fighter. I saw him fight later on with Rodney Stockton, who I had fought before, and I beat Rodney once. Rodney beat me once, and Levi Billups beat Rodney. So yeah, he was good too. Yeah, I didn't know him personally and never saw him besides in the ring, but I have respect for everybody.
Hey, let me shout out to my brother Saint Cruzen who came in here, man. I think I saw Slugger Sam in here. I saw Joe in here, man. Thank you guys for coming in with Flawless Mark. Thank you so much, Dr. Mark. We're talking to Bob Quarry, man. Known when he was a kid, they used to call him Bobby Quarry, man. The last of the famous Quarry brothers, and we're having a great conversation about his family and himself over here. So thank you guys for coming in here, man. I appreciate it. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. Andrew Charles, man. Salute, man. And this is Trick Nolte's my brother, man. Trick Nolte sets this up, man. Trick goes around contacting these boxers, man. Boxers from the glorious past. Because today, Boxing's crazy. Boxing's crazy today. You following anything that's happening today in boxing, Bobby? Who's your fighters that you're riding with?
I'm not up with it as like I used to. Um, I don't know who would be the best anymore. I
Some of your
like,
favorite fighters.
excuse me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bobby. I cut you off.
No,
You
he
were
just
talking.
wants to know who.
No, you're all right. I was
He
just
asked,
talking. I
he,
like Dante Wilder. I think he's a guy. I like Anthony Joshua. I think he's got a good heart. I just don't think he's got the ability. Dante does. The other guy's got heart, but not the ability. You know, in my opinion.
Who are some of your favorite fighters? Who are some of your favorite fighters you growing up? You know, other than your brother Michael and your older brothers. Like, who are some of the fighters that you were like, wow, that you really like to watch fight? You know, because I know you just love boxing. I mean, it's just
Oh
in your
yeah.
DNA.
Well,
Who are some of
I
your
remember
favorite fighters?
having. I remember getting to be pretty good friends with Eddie Machen when I was a kid and Terry fought him. That was years ago. Um, Frankie Crawford was a good dude. I remember him. He was hanging around the training camps and stuff, and I'd see him downtown. I remember all the Southern California fighters: Mondo Ramos, uh, Armando Muniz, Raul Rojas. Um, those are guys that a lot of people don't even remember anymore, which is sad because they were all great top fighters.
I heard that
You-
one of your favorite fights was Ramos and Ramos.
yeah, yeah. You'd seen that. I remember that as a kid. I remember the skin coming off of Mondo Ramos's eye, and
Oh,
it was tough. It was good, but they
oh.
let fights go back in those days a little more. You know,
Now, what's your all-time favorite fight, Bobby?
my
All-time
all
number.
time probably probably Mondo Ramos and Trigger Ramos. That would have to be. I mean, I remember them going at it.
Yeah,
And,
that was fight of the
yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know you spoke really highly of Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield's fights.
Oh yeah, who couldn't? Who couldn't? You have to respect both of them guys. Both of them guys have tremendous heart.
Right.
You know, no,
Right.
yeah.
What a fight.
Um,
Those were fights. Wow.
oh yeah. 1 and 3 being the best, but all in a group are one of the greatest trilogy ever was. You know,
Now, I
yeah.
know we were talking about this the other day in here. Did George Foreman duck Jerry Cooney?
Quarry, Jerry
Cooney?
Quarry.
Did
Cooney,
George
not
Foreman?
Cooney.
Did George Foreman duck your?
Okay. There, I had heard it, and Foreman did do the preface of Jerry's book and stated the fact that Jerry Quarry was the only fighter he ever intentionally avoided in his career. Due to Jerry's style, it would have given him trouble, and no, that doesn't mean he thinks he would have lost. He just figured he would not to get into something that would give him more trouble than he could get somewhere else. Right?
Mr. Doc wants
You
to
know,
ask if you have any thoughts on Holmes versus Ken Norton.
I remember I was there. I remember that. It was a tremendous fight. I liked Holmes. I did like Holmes, and I thought he pulled that fight out. You know, but it was a great fight. And they both showed tremendous heart. So they both won. In actuality, they
Well,
both
those are kind of
stood up.
now.
Yeah.
You didn't have an amateur career, did you?
I had 8 amateur fights.
8 amateur fights, and you jumped right into the pros.
Right.
Now,
I had nobody, and I pretty much trained myself, but I'm a,
nobody,
you know,
no promoters signed you. You know, Don King or Bob Arum at the time. They were pretty much running boxing.
I was by myself. I mean, I had no managerial people behind me or anything. So, but it's all better off. Ended up, I'd have probably been right where my brothers are. So, I'm happy where I am. Yeah, I'm happy the way things went. You know, which I would give a better effort, but I'm still alive, and like I said, I get to see my kids grow up and
Did your
mature into what they're going to be.
did your son box as an amateur, or is he going to turn professional like you did?
He's just now getting into. He's been around it all his life, so you get the ins and outs of it somewhat.
And
But
what's his name?
Sam
Quarry. Check
Corey.
that out, man. I know we got a lot of fact checkers out here, so get that name out there, man. Keep your eye out for Sam Quarry. He's got that Quarry blood in him, man.
I just hooked him up with Freddie and Steve Feder, Freddie wrote, and they're willing to, give him the knowledge of what he needs. Now it's all up to him.
Is he Orthodox or Southpaw?
That's how I look at it. No, he's Orthodox, right-handed.
Okay.
6'4", being a Corey with that height is kind of rare. We were all right at 6 foot, so it's a different kind of fight. He's going to fight with that height, but better. It's always then you can get your jab going and work what you need to work. Get that height, it helps. But they're all getting high. Look how tall everybody is. Fury's what, 6'9"? Fury's 6'9".
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
So what do you think about Tyson Fury?
He's 6'9". What do you do with a guy like
Tyson
that?
Fury as a fighter?
He's pretty agile for his height, and he's got good coordination. But I've seen him do some amateur things, But who am I to get on anybody, But I think he needs to keep his composure tighter and not go crazy. I like all fighters. I don't like the guy that whines about not getting notoriety. I don't know. Is that bad? Yeah.
No. Shaman soft. No, you're fucking right on. Why is crying? Boxing ain't for criers. Boxing's for the fucking tough and hot. The real boxing fans fucking are tough motherfuckers. There's so many fake people that don't realize the blood, sweat, and tears that it takes to go into your local boxing gym and lace up the gloves and get in that fucking ring. Until you do, you don't even know what it's like. In the quarries, there's no family in the world that have been through the wars and the battles and the sacrifice and the dedication that this family has been through. And like I say, my old man with the Irish heritage, you know what I mean? Irish Quarry, you know what I mean? It was just, you guys had a big fan base up here in Boston and Maine and stuff, New England. Everybody loved Quarry, Jerry. Like you said, Michael was always like Michael, the younger brother. If Michael was different time, whatever, a superstar. But the big brother, Jerry was just at that whole level of rock star, fighting everybody. You know what I mean? He was the rock star. And to have in the last of the brothers right here, Bruce Gass, the last of the brothers, Bobby Quarry. God bless, and God bless Sammy. You got a big fan for Sammy. I'll be rooting for Sammy hard up here. You tell him to dot his I's, brush his teeth, say his prayers, and there's no quitting a Quarry. And let's go, Sammy. Let's go swinging, Sammy. Irish Sammy Quarry. Let's go. 6'4". He's got to go in there. He's a 6'4" Quarry. Come on, baby.
Exactly.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for that.
That's scary.
Very
Yeah.
cool, man. Hey, Joe wants to know did Jerry train Gene Tunney's grandnephew, Jim Tunney, for a brief period? Do you know anything about that?
I heard some about that, but I'm not familiar with it, no. So I couldn't give you anything on that. I thought that Rocky Papelli
You
was,
fought Rocky Papelli.
yeah, no, I thought he was like one of their grandsons. You know, one of the top. I thought it was that one, but Tunney's. I thought he was Tunney's grandson, wasn't he?
I don't know, man. El Pinche, salute out there, bro. R.O. Peace to you, R.D. R.O. I'm sorry, my eyeballs got the lights in them over here, so not quite focused into the print. But
Bobby, did you feel the pressure? Did you feel the pressure of being a Quarry, of being the younger brothers? You know what I mean? Did you feel that pressure of being the Quarry? You know what I mean?
But
Mike is froze here. You froze on us, Bob.
Oh, am I here now?
Yeah, you're here now. Beautiful.
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
He was just asking about
I didn't take any
pressure.
break. I had to fight the tough fighters when I fought most of the time. But no, I felt no pressure. It's just, it's all part of the game. You got to do what you got to do at any time. And no matter who you are. Well, I look at it. Yeah.
Thank you. Great. Yeah. Fucking right.
You know.
A bullseye on your back, too. A bullseye on your back. Every fighter that was fighting you was like, I'm fighting a fucking Quarry. You know, that was fuel for every fighter that you fought. Because, you know, to go to your local watering hole and say, who are you fighting? I'm fighting a Quarry. You know what I mean? So you had a target on your back.
To a certain extent, I would figure that. I was a kid, so I didn't look at it like that, you know. But yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, you were a lot of Super Bowl for fighters. You know what I mean? Like, you know, people still talk about my you know, boxers. That's something that they have, and to fight a Quarry, that name resonates through the boxing circles. Honest to God, Bobby. And like, I wanted you to beat Tommy Morrison so bad. I wanted you to beat Tommy so bad. I'm like, come on, like, you know, like pull off the Mickey Ward Gotti. You know what I mean? I'm like, let's go, Bobby. Let's take this Hollywood fucking punk out. You know what I mean? I was really rooting for you, Bobby.
I wish I'd been in shape for that, but hey, you know, I did the best I could for what I had to work with at the time. Jerry and Mike was a hard worker. Jerry was a hard worker, of course, or he wouldn't have been able to do what he did. But Mike didn't have that punch. Jerry did. And Mike had to work harder to know every time you fight, if you're going to win, you're more than likely going to have to go the distance to win the fight. You know, and I've thought a lot about that, and I felt sorry for him. Not that I was no big puncher, but I always thought if I landed one, I would get out of there. And Jerry was able to do that too. So Mike had to work real hard. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of big punches, man, Ernie Shavers, we watched the fight just the other night, Ernie with Jerry. And Ernie, one of the biggest punches of all time, he just passed away a couple of weeks ago too, man.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know that fight with Jerry. Jerry was supposed to lose. He was brought in there because he was a Quarry, because he had a glorious resume, and then he turned the tables upside down in that fight. He outpunched the puncher.
Yeah.
First round.
Gary did good as an underdog. Gary did good as an underdog. Most Carter fight he was supposed to lose.
Your
That
microphone is
Spencer
chopping up
fight he
on
was
it.
supposed to lose. All right, how about now? Better?
No, keep speaking.
That's better.
No,
It is
no,
all the way out.
keep talking so we can hear.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'm talking.
Okay, good. I think it's okay now.
Yeah, Jerry did good against Puncher because Jerry was a better boxer than people thought he was. So he got to have that boxer puncher style and hit well enough to hurt some of the punchers and still have style to stay away from them.
Okay.
You
Now,
know,
growing up, Bobby, boxing is so prevalent in your family. Were you pushed into boxing? Did you, was your dad? Did your dad want you to box? Like, I mean, I've read books where your mom didn't like boxing. Or I don't know if it was your stepmom or your mom now, because I don't know how far the generations go. Your mom, and she didn't like the idea of you kids boxing, but your dad wanted you to box. Is that true? I know a lot of your fights are on real quick notice.
well,
No training.
well, my dad and brothers, my dad and his family. Okay. Exactly. That's the same thing. So you have.
I don't know what that. Hey, Trick, that's not from you, I think.
What's happening?
Okay, go ahead, man.
My dad and mother came out here during the Dust Bowl, and were following the crop. And I guess my dad had done some boxing younger, so he taught his sons what he knew to pass on to them. I happened to be pretty good for a couple of them, and they prospered. Just like any father would teach their sons their trade. There's been a lot of talk about my dad being mean and ornery. He was just a man of his times, and that's the way you taught your kids. Look how crazy it's gone nowadays with, you know, the children. I have no respect for the adults or the respect in mankind that they want used to have. That's my opinion.
Because there were some stories where there was a big conflict between your mom and your dad, where she didn't want the boys to box, and your dad insisted on it.
Not she. That makes it sound good, She not that she wanted them to box, and it wasn't her idea for them to box. And yes, it's painful to see your son get hit. But to say she didn't want them to, I don't know about that. Be honest with you.
Okay.
The whole family was like that. The whole family liked to fight. My sisters used to fight out in the audience all the time.
It's in the blood, man. It's in the blood.
There's
Rolling with the punches.
newspaper articles and stuff about them getting in fights at the Olympic Auditorium and stuff. Crazy.
It takes a special individual to be a boxer. I mean, I know it is. I've dealt with boxers, man. Every time I see it, I think it's somebody's gonna they're pulling a prank on me. But I mean, you guys are fighters. It's in your DNA. You're telling me your sisters are getting thrown out of the arenas for fighting in the crowd and everything else, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is in the blood in there somewhere, you know.
Now, I, I also read in your autobiography it said you did some time in Folsom Prison.
I did some time in a camp in Folsom Prison boundaries. I never was in Folsom Prison, but
But
you
still,
know, yeah, they
Folsom
make it
Prison was.
sound. But yeah, I was in the
It
boundaries. I ain't
sounds
gotten
good.
in trouble. Yeah, yeah, but
It
no,
ain't good.
I don't like the
It's
way
not.
it sounds.
Hey,
But yeah, I got in trouble. Did some things I shouldn't have done, and paid my dues and got back out and did not go back in. So
now, what are you doing to keep yourself busy today? I know you said you're just turning 60 years old coming up, man, and you're a young man because, man, you know, I think my baby brother just about turning 60 years old, so I'm kind of in on the other end of the spectrum. So, what are you doing with yourself these days? You know, you doing any running around,
oh, I run 5 6 days a week, 4 or 5 miles a day. Um,
oh, nice.
yeah, I play hoop. Active. I've lived here for 40, 45, 50 years. So 45 years. So I have a lot of friends and people I hang around. You know, talk
Now,
to the girls, of course. Yeah,
hey, I
I'm
wish they
single.
all could be California girls, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, tell me, hey, Monica, salute, man. Thank you for coming in, sister. Peace. Hey, I want to ask you about in your career. Were there any fighters that you wanted to fight? Were there any fights that you wanted that you didn't get that you were like you wanted this guy in the ring? You know, any titles you aspired to?
I can't say that. No, I did what my managers told. I come from, like I said, from the old school, and the manager told you what you did. He got your fights. You agreed to fight whoever he set you up with. You know, um, there was the local kid here in Bakersfield that would have been nice to get some hooked up with. For a hometown thing. But that's the only thing that wanted to fight somebody in particular. No, you just fight who they give you. It's all a job. Hmm.
Wow, a job. That's you
Yeah.
know, that's that's an amazing way to look at it. It's just a job.
Yeah.
You go into work and they'll tell you what to do, who to fight, and you go home and turn it off. I mean, I've never heard a boxer put it that way.
Yeah, me neither.
Things,
Me neither.
um, you get inspired by certain things that give you more energy and robust to get out and go do it. But it's a job. It's a job, you know. Um, Going like when you haven't trained for a little bit, you had a fight and you're off. You come back in, you get headaches for the first week because your brain's got to get used to getting hit again. You know, there's a lot of tangibles to it that people don't realize. Um,
Now,
but you make that choice on your own.
your last fight, it was by a dude named Jimmy Ellis. He fought George Foreman. It's not the original Jimmy Ellis that
Oh,
Jerry fought. I mean, we
right.
know that
Uh,
it was a white guy, Jimmy Ellis. But he had so many big fights. I mean, was that like a signal to get out of boxing, or do you think you were prematurely rushed into that fight? Because I know he just
no,
did like I said.
I didn't have. It takes a lot of tangibles. You have to have the right training, the right money behind you, the right doing this, and when you don't have that, you're wasting your time, and you're subjecting yourself to getting hurt or taking punches that are going to hurt you, in the long run. So it was just best that I retired because I didn't have all the tangibles to get a career together, you know. But
And that was when you weren't even 30 years old, right?
no. But see, what happened? I've never really copped to this to other people. But when I was 21 years old, I got poked in the eye. I was blind in my right eye, and I didn't bite for 4 years, or three years, 10 months, and I just memorized the eye chart. Came back, and the last 13 fights I fought, I was blind in my right eye.
Oh.
Yeah. But I don't put that as no downfall. You know, it didn't. I don't think it was a hindrance, but it might have been.
Damn.
You
I mean,
know.
and you could pass those state commissions and no
Oh yeah,
problem
I would
go in there.
memorize 3 lines. I'd memorize 3 lines on the eye chart, and they would pass me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know. But hey, at least I did get to fight some good fights and
No,
have a good time. So hey,
our buddy Joe's got another question in here. I don't know about this one. He says, how about when Elvis told Jerry he better be good to his wife or Elvis would kick his ass? You remember Elvis
Jerry,
Presley?
I know Jerry did work with Elvis a little bit with boxing. So I don't know any about specific statements being made to him like that, but possibly, you know. Yeah, Jerry did work with Elvis a little bit and teach him the trade, I guess. Yeah, yeah.
Hey
I
man.
don't think Elvis ever fought any fights or anything. He might have sparred or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
Elvis. I don't think Elvis got in the ring. Only in the movies when Kid Galahad. I think he played or some
right,
crazy stuff.
right,
But
right.
I bet he would have been a hell of a fighter though if he had chosen another path.
Maybe,
He was
maybe. You never know.
a tough, determined, just like a quarry man. You know, nothing was going to keep him down, and I'm sure he
Yeah.
pulled himself out of the mud many a time. But
Oh, I'm
man,
sure he did. Sure he did. He was a legend. Legend.
definitely. Big Blunts, man. Salute to you, Demetrius Bright. Thank you for coming by. Anybody has any questions they want to ask? Bobby Quarry up here, man. Uh, if you don't know who he is, go watch this show again, man. This is the famous Quarry brothers, the guys I grew
Bobby,
up
your
with, the
favorite,
guys I idolized.
your favorite moment as a boxer, like you when you like your favorite time where you were like, if you could go back there for a little time and just say, I wish I could go back for that moment, you know, like where you were just like, wow, wow, like what was your shining moment that you had where you felt like this is really good, you know?
It was later in career when I hit that Kilgore with the right hand. It's like I've seen it in a bunch of lists. The greatest one punch knockout in history, the 19th greatest heavyweight knockout in history. A bunch. It's on a bunch of forums like that. But probably that would be the best right hand I ever caught anybody with. So it's always funner when you're
Yeah,
remembering hitting
I
somebody.
I I think we can find that fight here, man. Let's see if we can
Think
bring
that's
that up or
it.
not and check that out, man.
Oh yeah, what a right, what a fucking right. Oh,
Watch this kid in the green trunks. The faint.
night night,
Oh, good night.
night,
Right.
face. Oh,
He's still asleep.
Hey,
he's
he was a tough fighter. He's a good dude. I knew him, and we were friends previous, but they
Oh
matched us
wow.
up. You don't have no choice. And it was a good fight. He was a good fighter. I just happened to catch him, with the right hand.
Yeah, he came in with his chin up, doubling the shot, man, with his momentum. That was good. That was a great punch, man. Wow, he's still
Well,
asleep.
thank you.
2000.
Yeah, it was about.
Referees like 2001, 2002.
Yeah. There's my brother Michael.
Yep, Mike's back there, man.
Yeah.
Good memories, great memories, man. I'm so glad that we could share that one more time with you. And
Yeah.
my sister Monica had a question out there. She wanted to know. Actually, she had the first question was the boxer that hit you the hardest.
Probably a guy named Rodney Stockton hit me with the right hand that hit me in the ear and busted my eardrum. And that's probably, Rodney Stockton probably hit me the hardest.
And she also asked you what boxer gave you the best advice that stuck with you to this day. And any fighters give you any advice that
My brother Michael gave me advice all the time. That was he would kick out these little cliches at the proper times. And it was always, left hand, always everything. When you reach out to do anything, you reach out with your left hand. The greatest words of tongue and pen are those words, what might have been. So give it your best effort the first time.
Words to live by, brother.
Yeah.
Absolutely, words to live by. Man.
Hey.
It's been great, man. I had you here for about an hour. It's been an awesome hour. I appreciate you giving us your time, Bob. And man, we're honored to have you in here. Honored to have a member of the Quarry family, the last surviving brother of the of the three Quarries that I remember. And we're gonna keep an eye on your son, man. And I'm gonna get back here every once in a while, see if we can get you on here to talk a little bit. And man, thank you so much for coming. Is there anything you want to say? Anything you want to say before we shut down over here, man?
I got respect for all you gentlemen, and thank you for the respect you gave back to me. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Salute. Hey. Yes, sir.
God bless you, my brother.
Right on.
Thank you for coming in, man.
You got it.
Peace out. Yeah. Mad Chad and Trick, man. You guys want to say any last words? Hey, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you guys coming in here, man, and helping me with this show.
Yeah, man. Hey, all I'll say is, man, this is what it's about, man. That guy needed some shine, man. And like I say, I saw him floating around on Facebook, and he's in a few chats here and there, man. And I reached out to him, man, to let him know, want to get him on here and talk with him, man. So, man, thank you for letting me bring him on your platform. Appreciate that.
I appreciate it, my brother Trick. God bless you, my man. I'll be talking to you real soon, man.
All right, Mad Chad.
Yes, sir. You the man, Trick. Honestly, bringing this all together, Trick.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Can't do it without y'all as well. So I'm out, man.
God bless you, my brother. Mad Chad, man. Bruce, I appreciate you coming through.
Bruce. Great stuff, man. Honest to God. I wish my old man was still kicking around the butt. You know what I mean? Like he would have got such a kick out of this with, Bobby Quarry. Come on. Just to talk with that's real boxing right there. That man's lived it. He's still got his marbles. God bless the Quarry, the whole family, and keep an eye on Slam and Sammy. His name's Sammy. I like it because we got the Slugger Sam. We got Kyle's old man, the Sam, Sammy. So we'll know about Sammy Quarry for sure, Bruce, man, thanks again. And Trick Nolte, like, you know what I mean? Trick bringing it together with Bruce Gass and tough motherfuckers, Bruce, Trick Nolte, and, Bobby Quarry. God bless, Bruce. Great fucking show. And thank you for having me, man. And everybody in the chat, Bruce. You the man. You the GOAT. You the GOAT. God bless, Bruce.
Yeah. God bless you, Matt Chad. Thank you for coming by. And man, once again, so much fun over here, man. We we finally got Bobby to come on here and listen to this. This is royalty. I don't know what more expletives I could give this man. This is the brother of Jerry Quarry and Mike Quarry, and thank God he's still with us. And we like to give these guys their flowers while they're still alive, man. And nobody more than I do. Nobody appreciates that more than I do. And man, I look at Bobby. He looks like a tough Irishman from Boston, man. I wouldn't mess with him to this day, man. He looks like he's got that killer look in him, man. But he sounds like a true gentle spirit, man. And it's an honor to meet him. And I love the man now. I just such a great thing to have him. I thank all you for coming on here, man. Monica, thank you so much for coming on here, man. Andrew Charles, Mr. Gain, my friend, the Pigeon, Carlos Mendoza, Joe, Jeff Lucietta, Demetrius Bright, man. Rolling with the punches. My brother Trick Nolte, Big Blunts and Boxing, man. Thank you, brother, for coming on here. But I see that, and it's like I was kind of like I didn't want to smoke in front of Bobby today, man. I didn't want to hit the bong up. I did an edible. I did 100 milligram edible before I came on here. My wife too. She's clocking pigeons in her bedroom. I think she's out sleeping, but I didn't really feel any need to, man. I felt very, very comfortably numb with the conversation as it was going on. A little rip on that Toker too now, man. A little less indica, this Pops Tops. But yeah, man, my brother Big Blunts in Boxing, William Old School on that, man. Salute to you, man. I appreciate you coming on here. Mad Chad, he always makes the show, my brother Mad Chad, man. God bless him. I appreciate that. Santino Medina, thank you so much for coming by, my brother. BK. We'll go up the list and give everybody a little shout out here. Rolling with the punches, my brother. Rolling with the punches, my man. Get this in the right frame of mind over here, man. Where am I? Coming back here with some blues. Is what we need here, man. A little blues to take us out of here. Dick Justice, salute to you, my brother. Don King, RD, El Pinche, Impala, Carl the Hunter, salute, my brother. I didn't see you come in here, man. Sorry, bro, my fault. Two Matador. Mr. Doc. I thought you were going to come on here with us tonight. Who else was in here tonight, man? The Barbarian. I like that, man. The Barbarian. St. Cruz and my brother. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you coming in here, man. Thank you. One round with George Jakovic, but man, where the hell? I sent George an email to come up here, man. He's my co-host. He's usually the guy that carries me in these things. I'm a dog kind of a person, man. My man George Jakovic, HBO executive, HBO producer, Emmy award-winning producer. Andrew Charles, salute. The Slugger Sam, Flawless Mark. Did I get everybody? Opulent LD, salute my brother. Opulent LD, Mick Smith. Jelly Bean 4280, salute my brother. I hope everybody gave me a thumbs up over here, man. I get 300 views and 30 thumbs up. Come on, man. You gotta like me, please. Show some love. A lot of action in the comment section. I love that. Brian Hawkins, salute to you, my brother. Johnny Blaze. I guess I got everybody. MGTV. Yeah, I did, man. Let's see who came at the end. Monica. Salute, Monica. Thank you so much, my sister. Oh, that was a good time. It was one of those. It was Thursday night. I don't usually come on here, but then again, man, it really doesn't matter when you come on. It's YouTube. You come on when we want. We talk about what we want to talk about when we want to talk about it. And I was fortunate enough to have the great Bobby Quarry that graced us and told us some decent stuff. You know, he looks good. God bless him, man. God bless Bobby Quarry. And great to hear one of the Fighting Quarry brothers still alive, still loves his boxing, man, like us. And you know, we saw him. You can say you saw him. And you know what I want to do? I want to do a show and talk about the drugs in boxing, man. Because see, Bruce Gass was in the nutritional supplement business since I was in business with a friend of mine in 1997. I was in the industry in the early 90s, but it became my career in 97. And I retired in 2017. And so I think that's about 30 years. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's a long time. And in the nutritional supplement business, you deal with a lot of drugs, a lot of people who use drugs because see, nutritional supplements, they enhance your performance, your physique. But the people who are over the edge, man, they're still using drugs, steroids, fat burners, you know, things that are banned in the federations that they compete in, or that are just straight out outlawed. You need a prescription to get them. But see, we saw Conor Benn. We saw this whole shit show in Great Britain. It toppled over. Is it over? Who knows, man? This could just be the beginning of it, man. This is VADA, UKADA, you know, those federations. I'm not too sure, but I know one thing, man. When you use this Clomid or Clomidine, whatever they want to call it, it's a generic version of a drug called Clomid. It's originally introduced to make women more fertile, women who aren't producing fertile eggs anymore. What it does is it stops the estrogen production, which increases testosterone production, which does something hormonally. But anyway, man, when you're coming off a steroid cycle, you see you're putting artificial testosterone in your body. How come this music isn't playing? Oh, it's because it's all over. I'm going to put something else on here. And throw this one on here. There we go. Yeah, that's okay. A little something in the background. Yeah, Mr. Pads is probably sleeping right now. But this Clomid, or I think they call it Clomidine, whatever. But anyway, man, see, this is taken after a cycle because what you're doing is you're flooding your body with artificial testosterone. And see, the human body has this knowledge. Tony Boswell, my brother, salute to you, my man. Salute to you, bro. We just closed out the show with Bobby Quarry, and I'm just kind of. We had Bobby Quarry for an hour. I didn't want to keep him any longer, man. You know, it was the first time I had him on the show, and I think we kind of got pretty much everything out there. And it was, you know, I didn't want to impose on him too much. An hour was great. Most people, they say about a half hour, maybe a little bit more. But then, you know, we weren't showing fights. We just had a nice little talk with the true legend in the game. Drugs in boxing is only one man to call, Pinklin Thomas. Oh yeah, man, Pinklin Thomas. Yeah, he was a heroin addict, 13-year-old heroin addict, and I can relate to Pinklin Thomas, bro. You know, but this Clomid. See, after you take a cycle, you stop putting the artificial testosterone in your body, and your body doesn't realize that it's still producing mass amounts of estrogen. And normally they would even off, but when there's not enough testosterone in there, the estrogen, it aromatizes into feminizing hormones, and that's when guys get the bitch tits, and that's when you get fat, man. You know, it's just you get feminizing qualities. So what bodybuilders do, and I don't know who figured this one out, but I don't think it was a medical doctor who figured it out. But they take this Clomid and it suppresses the estrogen, and it when your body realizes that your natural testosterone production kicks in, because you also take something called HCG. H Money, salute my brother. And this HCG is a human grandapin. It's another thing that signals the nuts to start making more testosterone again. But anyway, man, Conor Ben, he was doing this right, but you can probably take 2 steroid cycles a year safely. And this is just locker room bullshit, man. See, some people never go off a cycle, but Conor Ben, he probably takes 2 cycles a year, and he timed it. But he took this Clomid. He took a little too much of it towards the end of his cycle. And like I said, this is for hormonal balance, so your body doesn't produce the estrogen. It's not a performance enhancer, but it's used. They give it to women with breast cancer, so they don't produce the estrogen, which is a futile ground for breast cancer. So anyway, man, this is what he got caught with. This is what it was all about. But see, what this signals is, he didn't just take something off the shelf and pop it in. This signals kind of a conspiracy where he's a roid user, and he was taking this to get off the cycle, and he got caught. And now it's fucking up boxing. We had a week of we were gonna kind of get a nice little thing going. We had this fight in Great Britain in the afternoon, early evening, and then we'll have the Fundora fight at night. So now there'll be nothing in the afternoon. We have to wait till, man, I probably won't get to see the Fundora. It probably won't go on till 11 o'clock. Kind of fucks up a Saturday. But next Saturday, we're going to get bombarded. We're going to have fights from the time we wake up till the time we pass out. So, fucking crazy world of boxing. They shoot themselves in the foot. We get this news today. This fight is canceled, and it's one of these kind of fights where most boxing fans, kind of Ben, fucking welterweight fighting the middleweight. But because we're all hardcore. A lot of talk goes around about it. We start listening to it. There was a lot of bullshit. Conor Ben is coming up and waiting. Chris Eubank's father, maybe he saw something going on. He saw his son had to make all these stipulations and very low rehydration clause, and he saw Conor Ben getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And he wanted him to cancel his fight a couple of weeks ago. He said the fight was off as far as he was concerned. He wasn't going to watch another one of his sons die, because apparently one of his sons died from some sporting incident. But hey, now we don't get the fights that we were going to see. And it's crazy, because if you were reading boxing yesterday as it was happening, they both supposedly agreed to fight regardless of these new findings. Which is crazy. I mean, the world of fucking performance-enhancing drugs, steroids do work, man. Steroids make you bigger and they make you stronger. And there's no doubt about it. It's an illegal advantage. It's in boxing. They look for ways around it. They look for ways to cheat it. You got all these Victor Conti in boxing, supposedly a reformed former steroid guru, I guess we call him, and now he's involved with boxing and state commissions, and he's showing them how the drug cheats will try to beat the drug test, but he's one step ahead of that. And I mean, who knows what's going on? It's a dirty game, like Bobby Quarry was just telling us, man. He was a heavyweight for 10 years, and he didn't see it back in the 90s. I don't know how he didn't see it, but he says he didn't see it. So, man, the dirty world of boxing, it rolls on. Bitch tits, yep, Broly. And see, the thing is, man, these boxers are starting to realize the long-term damage. See, when I started doing this, man, I was a bodybuilder, and we had, the heroes were Dorian Yates and Nasser El Sanabate, and you know, these fucking monsters, man. Greg Kofax, and a lot of these guys, they died, man. They died in their mid-40s. There's so many of them. I just can't remember off the top of my head because my bodybuilding days were, 25, 30 years ago. Back when I was following that, and back in the days where people were doing these crazy amounts of steroids and not going off cycle. But see, steroids themselves, they're not going to kill you. You can't overdose on steroids. But you get these long-term effects, man. They fuck up your kidneys, your liver damage, cholesterol. I mean, I can tell you some horror stories, man. I can tell you guys who are 30 years old who are insulin dependent, just like a diabetic now, because they fucked around with growth hormone, which you have to inject insulin when you're injecting growth hormone. So it's an ugly thing in boxing, and is it here to stay? I hope not. Maybe when this generation sees what it did to the next generation, the premature deaths, and I mean the invisible man, how this big huge physique is all of a sudden an incredibly shrinking man. But it's kind of what's going to be the hottest topic on the boxing conversations this week, I think, man. Drugs in boxing, who's using, who's not using, who's looking a blind way, and it's a crazy thing. It started in bodybuilding, and then it went to baseball and football. It's been in football for a long time, but it was always, football players are just big monsters anyway, and see, it's different drugs for different things. Like they give like boxers would be taking things like Winstrol, see the Naldrone. That's Deca, and that's a long acting. That is a strong afterlife. So boxers don't really prefer that because it's easily detected. Football players, they're year round. I mean, like I said, it's a crazy world, and you got gym room gurus who probably know more about this than most PhDs do, because it's different now. But back in the day, it was different. Now they got PhDs and stuff coming in and figuring out ways to alter molecules in these steroids, make designer steroids, stay one step ahead of the drug testing people. Gotta get that snap at the end. Early night, 8:30, man. I don't know what's happening tonight on YouTube or anywhere. Oh, I found this site today. I'm gonna do a favor for all you cats that are in here tonight. Now, maybe I shouldn't do this. If anybody wants it, they can send me an email. I found this website that's like having cable. It's like having cable with HBO, Cinemax, and all these other crazy pay stations. And it's funny. I don't even know how I found it. I think I was looking for CNN News, and if I found CNN, but it had all these other fucking channels next to it. So it was a cool thing. I'm probably gonna go look at that maybe a little bit if nothing's happening in boxing, because boxing is getting kind of depressing, man. When they cancel fights at the 11th hour, and they bombard us next week, and who knows what we're going to be watching? Who knows what's going to be on? I know I'm there. I know I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be watching. The heavyweights. I'm fucking watching Wilder and Helene. It's guaranteed. I don't care what time that's on. That's New York though, so it's going to be on at a reasonable hour. I'm going to say around that. I'm going to guess around 10 o'clock, but I could be wrong. I probably am. Mad Chad, man. Thank you for hanging around a bit. D-Ray Promotions, man. Hell yeah. Yes, Arnold Schwarzenegger did steroids. Not the crazy doses they're doing today, but he did them. He admitted it, man. You know, Arnold was not the natural bodybuilder. None of them are. Mike Mesner, who claimed he was all natural, they found out he was fucking doing tests. Lee Priest tried to compete one year, just doing nutritional supplements. I think he was sponsored by Twin Lab. I don't even think he made it in the top 10. He might have finished 12th that year or some fucking crazy thing. And Lee Priest, he was he's a top 5 Olympian in his day when he was juiced to the max. But see what they go after in bodybuilding, and what they probably will end up going after in boxing is the diuretics, man. Those are the life threatening. You know, the fat burners, the clenbuterol. You know, the phentermine, I guess. I don't know what's the other one, man. You know, ephedra used to be taken regularly, but those are the ones that really cause the Lasix. You know, the diuretics that get all the water out of your body so you can make that fucking weight. And, you know, it's an ugly game. It's a dangerous game, and I think that's going to be the next trip up in the world of professional sports as boxing. I think it's going to be the diuretics. We already got Canelo with the clenbuterol, and see, after a steroid cycle, you know, the Clomid, and after that, you took the clenbuterol to get you back, you know, to get you back up. When you get off a cycle, you get very lethargic, you get very lazy. You know, that's why some of these crazy cats are around all year round, because they get this, what they call small man syndrome. You know, you look in the mirror and you don't look as big. You know, your muscles aren't popping, the vascularity's not there, whatever it may be. And so right away, you run to the fucking roids. Aaron Judge. Hey. I don't even think they give a fuck about getting not getting into the Hall of Fame. I think it's more of the cash. I think Mad Chad said it yesterday. He'll probably be wearing a Red Sox uniform next year, making fucking $30 million to play baseball. Who the fuck knows, right? But I think drugs are here to stay, man. They're in every sport, and you know, some people have no clue what they are, and you know, most people shouldn't have any clue what they are, because they shouldn't even be in our vocabulary. But where there's a will, there's a way. If there's a way to get an advantage, athletes will find it. You know, in bodybuilding, they have the natural federations, and they have the open federation. That's what they call them. They don't call them the drug federation. They call them the open federations. Will they have that in boxing? I don't know, man. I don't think so, because there are too many ways to beat the test that they'll find. You know, Mike Tyson fucking used to have the Wizinator. Let me see if I can find the story, man. You know, like my man Coach says, receipts. Let me see if I can find the receipt here. There it is, man. Check this out. I get this a little bigger here. I mean, here we go, man. Mike Tyson admits to using fake penis to pass a doping test. The Wizinator. We have receipts. We have receipts. And like Mad Chad's saying out there, my brother Mad Chad, the horse is Bob Baffert. I mean, see, a lot of these drugs, they're made for horses. A lot of these steroids, man. See, I'm 68 years old, and testosterone is the key. That's what we're all trying to get is testosterone, and I'm prescribed testosterone. I take 1 milligram of 200 milliliter testosterone once every 20 days. It's not anabolic. If I took maybe 4 of those bottles and took a shot of that every 4 days, then after a month, then you might see some major fucking improvement in old Bruce Gass's physique. But see, this is prescribed to me to keep my blood pressure regulated, my cholesterol, my liver function. Because as you age, your body doesn't produce this testosterone. And the thing is, these fucking cats get they get their hands on testosterone, and it's like magic. If your body's not responding to the workouts and you take testosterone, it's going to really respond to the workouts. But it's good. If you learn long-term damage, long-term kidney damage, long-term heart damage, I mean, it's nothing to fuck with. And I wish these boxers would understand that. Well, I don't know about that, Joe. I don't know what would go on with Mike Tyson in there, but I heard that a long time ago, and I knew it'd be easy to pop up because I remember when they had it. I was thinking about getting a Wizinator because I was doing one of my detoxes, and I had to give a urine, and I wasn't going to pass the test, so I saw it in the book. I was thinking about getting it, but I didn't. And I see Mike Tyson did. He's fucking nuts. So shout out to Mike Tyson. And let's see, getting into boxing today. Let's see what's going on here, man. Let me pop up my headlines today. It's already PM. We usually catch these around 7 o'clock in the morning. George Kambosos will improve against Devin Haney in the rematch, says Teddy Atlas. I hope he improved, but maybe Devin Haney will improve too. And see, that's a fight that nobody's really talking much about. And that's going to be on this Super Saturday after this. After we get over this Saturday of cancellation. But George Kambosos will improve, says Teddy Atlas. I hope he improves, man. I hope it's a decent fight, and I hope it's not piggybacked with all the other fights in that night. The women's card is going to have to go in. It's going to have to be in the back seat. I'll have to watch the replay on that one. I'm sorry, man, but if it's Kambosos and Haney going head to head with Wilder and Helenius, I'm sorry, man. I'm fucking sticking with male boxing on this night. Anthony Durrell and Caleb Plant, they're building that one up too, man. That's going to be interesting. They're bad mouthing each other. Caleb Plant vows to retire Caleb Plant vows to retire Anthony Durrell. Here's another very, very interesting headline over here, man. Former Conor Benn opponent Chris Van Heerden questions whether Conor Benn cheated against him. The repercussions, man, the repercussions. Anthony Durrell wants to fuck up Caleb Plant. Yeah, there's some bad blood there. I know, George, but see, boxing is killing itself. It's shooting itself in the foot. It's actually, there we go. Boxing is shooting itself in the foot. They're putting this on the same time. Well, is this going to be on in the afternoon? I don't know, man, but they really have to tread carefully with all these fights they're giving us. Even in the afternoon, man, it's like you get up in the morning, you have your breakfast, you do what you got to do, and boxing's coming on at 2 o'clock, and you don't want to miss any of the fights because some of these undercard fights are killers, man. And the wife, forget it. I guess she's kind of getting used to it by now. I mean, she better be used to it by now. It's only been 30 years. She should be used to it. But, boxing is shooting itself in the foot. Allegri said the same thing about Ben. See, something. I learned a little bit in here about some of these things we read in boxing. You dig this, man? Chris Allegri's on this show. I can't remember the name of the show, but I'm sub to the guy, and he's got a YouTube channel. And I think he's on Fridays, I think, or Thursdays. I think he was on today. But anyway, man, he talks with Chris Allegri and Algeri. I'm sorry, and I was reading an article about boxers and weed who endorse weed, and it had boxers that do, like Buster Mathis has a CBD business, and went down the line. It named a few of them, and it had Chris Algeri, and it said strong advocate, and it had all these quotes in there by him. And so I asked him on there about what his thoughts were on CBD, and he's like, "Kind of what? I guess it's all right." And I'm like, I guess you can't believe everything you read on the internet. But this was Chris Algeri. There you go. Dan. I'm so bad with names, man. Terrible with them. I remember. I'm so bad with names. I have to forget. I don't know what I can possibly do. I guess I'm just fucking getting a little senile in the old age. I tell you, I walk the dog all the time, and I see good-looking girls walking their dog every day. And this one, I can't remember her name. Her dog's name is Zeus, but she's got the Mount Vesuvius. I can't remember her name, but anyway, man. You look at this, George. How come you went up here with me tonight, George? I sent you the link. You're my fat man up here. You're the straight man. But let's see, man. Daniel Dubois to face Lucas Brown. If I was Daniel Dubois, I would ask for Joe Joyce. I would ask for a rematch. You are the WBA regular heavyweight champion. I guess that and a couple of bucks will get you a Starbucks latte. But Daniel Dubois facing Lucas Brown. Lucas Brown has only got 3 defeats, 2 or 3 defeats. Just beat the Yoka. I can't even remember who he just beat. But it was a first round knockout, and it's what they're going to give us. It's in November. What are we going to do, man? I think Daniel Dubois should take a little lesson from Joe Louis and go back and beat the man who beat the man before he won the title, and that way he can call himself the man. But then again, WBA Reggie Belt, I don't know if you can call yourself the man. Frank Warren says he would cancel Eubank versus Ben. Well, it's been done, Frank. It happened. You saw a little bit. Dimitri Bivol and Shaq meet in Dubois. Then there's that little bit of news we heard today. Eubank versus Ben could be sanctioned by the Luxembourg Boxing Federation. What was it? The British board of the BBB.C, some crazy board who was sanctioning the fight, and now they said the Luxembourg Boxing Federation. Come on, do we really give a shit about that? Do we just want to see the fight? Yes and yes, but it is what it is. And then that vague line by Errol Spence yesterday. He said, "Shit is happening next. All you need to know." Okay. Dubois versus Brown not happening. There we go, man. See, I was reading the issue I got today of Boxing 24. They didn't update that. So look at how crazy this stuff fucking changes, man. Yep. Eddie Hearn reacts to the BBB of C prohibiting Eubank and Ben. And Conor Ben was I have not committed any violations. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen any roid user fess up once the urine test came around. Once they were confirmed cheating. And being involved with the bodybuilding world for a few years, I saw many bodybuilders get disqualified, suspended because of drug testing, because of not passing tests. And Conor Ben is going to stand there and deny it till the end. Hey, man, it is what it is, my man. And then Chris Eubank Jr. reacts to Conor Ben's positive drug test. Yep. And Conor Ben fails drug test before you. I mean, damn, how many paragraphs can you give that? But that's what we're flooded with in boxing. That's going to be the story, I think, of the next couple of days on this fight. No one admits it. We got him caught dead to wrong. I mean, they're actually, they're putting people in jail for the rest of their lives with DNA evidence. 10 years after the fact. And urine, that's fresh out of the unit, man. That's pretty reliable. And yet they will deny it. They'll deny it to the grave. Barry Bonds, I don't think he's admitted to using juice, as his head grew progressively bigger and bigger throughout the years. And that baseball went further and further. And you know what I wanted to say too, man, with Jerry Cooney? I didn't mention this to Bobby when he was in here. They had they used to have the Battle of the Network Stars. And Jerry Cooney, he'd smoke him. He hit a base. He had the eye-hand coordination. He hit a baseball 400 yards, man. He was 400 feet. I'm sorry, but he was an all-around athlete, and he did real well in those competitions. He won the preliminaries, and I think if you go back and look, someday we'll do that, man. The Battle of the Network Stars. But yeah, Jerry was very, very gifted athletically. Interesting to see what makes a fighter. It was just interesting to talk to Bobby Quarry tonight and see what he had to say. It was a fun time, man. I think I've probably been down here a little longer than I should have been, but it's early. Yeah, man, Joe Frazier, that was so funny, George. Joe Frazier jumping into the water and just going straight down, and he says, "Well, I thought if I just moved my hands back and forth, I would swim." Yeah, that was hilarious stuff, man. And I used to like the strongest man competitions. Those were wild. The tire toss, the refrigerator carry, all that crazy shit, man. Hold out the battery as long as you can. But it was cool stuff, man. And hey guys, I'm gonna get off here. I appreciate you coming on here, man. Well, I think this is my third night in a row on here. But this was worthwhile, and thank you so much, man. Thank you all for coming by. Have a great night, man. Put something together for next Tuesday night. We'll see what's going on, and maybe we'll even see before that, because we have a weekend of boxing, and sometimes we just can't help clicking that go live button and coming out here and making a fool out of myself. But anyway, man, thank you so much for coming in, man. God bless and peace.